everyone. Thank you for joining. I am Jisary and I welcome you to my channel where I do all different kinds of creative content. Hello everyone. Today I want to show you the state of my video game project and give you some context on why it looks as it looks. In May I uploaded a video presenting to you my video game project Steelworld. A TLDR for everyone who didn't watch that video, Steelworld is a management game where players need to manage their resources to survive while also finishing the story. It is completely 2D and choice-driven, leading to multiple endings. Players are supposed to visit different areas, gather resources and knowledge, and unlock new options along the way, all while managing their survival. If you want to see the video, the link is in the description. I had it already planned out and was in the process of setting up the project in Unreal Engine. You can see how it looked in the other video if you're interested. But this is where the work stopped, for personal reasons. And I wasn't able to motivate myself to continue working on it. I just didn't have the energy. Now, my situation changed and I wanted to go back working on it again. But even though I feel better now, I still had a hard time motivating myself to get back into the game. And I was wondering why that is. And I think I found the answer. My heart wasn't in it. When you want to develop a game on your own, it is a lot of work. And especially when working with more or less new software, you need to learn a lot. It is a very slow and difficult process, especially in the beginning. And Steelworld, even though the project itself is totally fine, it was born out of pragmatism. I was thinking about a game I could do with, minimal effort. Something that would mostly use skills that I already have, or at least could build on something that I already know, to be as energy efficient as possible. But it wasn't the project, It wasn't the game I always wanted to make. And I think this is what it needs to be when you really want to dive into something so deeply. You really need to want it. This is where the motivation comes from. The motivation to return to it every day. And this just wasn't Steelworld for me. So, I changed course. I remembered the game I wanted to make originally, which is a farming game in the style of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. A spiritual successor, if you will. I know that a remake exists, and I think it's fine, but it doesn't have what I originally liked about the game anymore. I always enjoyed the more mature take on things, while still being goofy at times. And I always liked the more muted designs and strong emphasis on immersion. And this is what I want to create. Just different, or the next step, if you will. My version of it, basically. I want to make it a bit more active, bigger, and add a way deeper relationship system. And I also want to get rid of the time jumps. I know this was a big USP of the game, but I never liked it. In my opinion, it messed up the flow of the game. And there's much more I want to do, of course, but I don't want to spoil everything right off the bat. Since I'm still in the planning phase, I don't want to promise anything I cannot execute on. But I will give you more information as soon as it gets relevant. I am planning on making regular devlogs, in which I show you my progress and give a closer look into the systems and features that the game will have. I am still mostly in the planning and learning phase, but I already started working a little hands-on in the engine. I am using Unreal Engine 5, as I used it in my last company I worked at, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm not a programmer, so I have to basically learn it from scratch. So far I'm having fun, even though it feels pretty overwhelming. Until now, I have set up a basic level blockout in Engine that I first scribbled in a Miro board. And I started blocking out areas and buildings to get a feel for the size of the map and the exploration of it. Not all buildings have a blockout yet, but you can already see where it's going. It will be more or less open world. And building an open world, an interesting open world, is a challenge in of itself. In parallel, I am designing the main features and learning Unreal Engine functionality to create technical designs for the implementation. The The first thing I want to implement is a basic inventory and gathering mechanic. I have already a very rudimentary version of it in the game. It is mostly data driven so far, so not too much to see yet. But, you know, with a little fantasy, maybe you can see it. In theory, the character now has the item in the inventory, but the inventory doesn't have a visual representation yet, so you have to trust the dev text in the top of the corner. The text would never lie. Besides that, I need to get back into 3D modeling again. Which will be a hoot, as my last try was, well, a try. But 3D modeling is quite fun. Well, rigging not so much, but it is what it is. So I'm looking forward getting back into it. I have already the base lore and story set up and a list of first characters. I also have the lore of the whole world and know where the story is taking place in the context of the world. So a lot of work is going on in the background that will lead into character and prop designs. And I am so looking forward to this. But for now I am concentrating mostly on, well, understanding how Unreal Engine blueprints work, as without those, nothing will ever happen. Da, da, da. There is so much more I could tell you already, but I will stop here. Telling you about it is not so interesting compared to showing it to you when it is done, at least in the first iteration. So this is what I'm going to do. And I am so excited. All in all, I did already more work for this project than I did for Steelworld. And I am still motivated, like a lot. I am working every day on it at the moment. But as I said, the learning takes time, so the progress is still quite slow. Well, the visual progress that is, not the general progress. The general progress is pretty good actually. I have to see what I can do in the first official devlog though. I am planning to do it this year, but maybe I will kick the new year off with it. We will see. Oh, and the project name will be Fantasy Botanist, by the way. I don't know what the final name will be, but for now this is how I will refer to it going forward. By the way, I will still upload other content on this channel, of course. This will not become a game project only channel, but it will become a bigger part of it. The next regular video is already being worked on and on track, so no worries about delays or anything. I just switched priors and am full steam ahead working on more things now in parallel. And this concludes my update for now. Well, thank you all for listening to me ramble. For everyone who isn't subscribed, feel free to do so to not miss the new devlog videos. Wish me luck, it is quite the endeavor, but I'm convinced I can pull it off. I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay healthy and comfy. Until we meet again.